every 4 years. I need that extra day to get all my work done. Well, listen to this story. Your child's private information may not be so private anymore. The Obama administration has passed regulations that will allow the Department of Education to relinquish students' personal data to other federal agencies. But is this an invasion of our privacy or a measure that will benefit educational programs? Joining us now to break it down is the executive director of the Preserve Innocence initiative of the American Principles Project, Emmett McGroarty. Am I saying your last name correctly, Emmett? I was worried I'd screw that up.
Yes, that's correct.
I nailed it. All right. So let's dive into this. How in the world did this happen? We're talking about some federal programs. We'll get into some examples in just a second. But how in the world are these programs able to monitor kids' information?
Well, what happened is a Texas two-step. The federal law prohibits the federal government from collecting housing databases on student information. We're talking about highly personal information. But where there's a will, there's a way around the Constitution and around statutory prohibitions, I suppose, is the thinking. So in the 2009 stimulus bill, what the Congress said was that if a state wants stimulus money, it has to obligate itself, promise to create these massive databases.
Okay, so let's be clear about this.
In
the 2009 stimulus bill, there was provisions in there encouraging states to gather data about kids in school, such as, and you point this out in your piece, STD and teen pregnancy prevention program information. So now, teen goes through that program. That data could be shared with other federal agencies to know that maybe your daughter went through an STD prevention program?
Yes, with the regulatory changes that take effect next week, what we have is shall I say it, an amazing change in privacy protections and in the government's ability to troll personal, family, and student data.
I mean, just to think about some of the programs or some of the things, you know, behavioral issues, right? I mean, as teens, as kids, you know, you all go through different stages in your life. Maybe you were a rowdy kid in high school. Maybe you had some issues and you had to deal with, right? Now that information is available to other federal agencies to look and sort of track you. Now, the Department of Education, though, says, look, it's for educational purposes. They say the data is being used to assess the effectiveness of educational programs, not to track individual students. The New York Post article is an incorrect assessment of what these new regulations set out to do. Parents can rest assured that their children's personal information is protected better now than it has ever been. So that's the response to your piece. What do you say?
Well, I would say that's a gratuitous response. It's important to note that these regulatory changes allow the sharing of data not just from department to department in both the federal government and state governments, but also to private entities. So this is just a radical change, I would really beg to differ with the department's response in that respect.
Okay, and it's well, let me ask you then, what's the fallout here? What's the big picture? Is this going to come back to haunt kids as they enter their career? Because now we're tracking this data from a young age all the way up until they leave, maybe go off to college. Is it going to come back to haunt them?
Yeah, I think it could come back to haunt them. Look, we hear almost on a daily or weekly basis instances where personal data is negligently or willfully incorrectly released, whether it's by the government, even the Department of Defense has had instances of this, or private companies. You know, we get upset when we find out that private internet concerns or credit card companies are collecting and mining, analyzing data. Now it's the federal government that's doing it. So that's one fallout. You never know what's going to happen. The second fallout is a radical change in America.
Right.
I mean, our concept of government is that the people do not belong to government. The people are the ultimate sovereigns.
It sounds like a little bit something like out of a science fiction novel, in a way, I have to admit. Emmett, great to see you. I hope you have a happy New Year. And here in Times Square, of course, on New Year's Eve, we'll have 500 cameras up tracking our every movement. So maybe it is science fiction happening in this country right now. Emmett, great to see you this morning.
Thank you.
And let us know what you think.